Welcome to Beautifully Consumed, where I believe the best way to live a life with purpose is by loving and becoming your most true self. Because when you know yourself fully, you shine a light that gives others the permission to do the same. I'm your host, Chelsea Leigh. I'm here to inspire and encourage you by sharing my journey, the stories of others, and all the tips, tricks, and life lessons about aligning with your highest self. You're in the right place if you're ready to be wildly dedicated to finding your purpose, becoming your most true self, and learning what it means to be beautifully consumed with living a life that is undeniably yours. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beautifully Consumed. I'm your host, Chelsea Leigh. I'm so glad to have you here today. If you have not listened to last week's episode with being magnetic, make sure you go back and listen to that one. Magnetic is my word of the year for 2025. So I tell you all about what word of the year is, how to pick one. And I gave you an example by showing you what my word of the year for 24 is, how that played out. And I talked all about how to be magnetic and what that means to me for 2025. So hopefully that episode gave you kind of a good understanding of what word of the year is, how you can take that and apply it to your life. So if you haven't listened to that one, go back and listen to it. And now that we're here, hopefully you have picked your word of the year, because that is going to make doing today's project a lot easier and more streamlined. So in today's episode, we are talking about being beautifully consumed with vision boards. I am so excited to talk about this topic. I'm actually sitting in front of my own vision board. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see kind of the bottom half of it behind me. And before we get into what a vision board is, how to do it, all that good stuff, I just want to encourage you to listen to this episode with an open mind. I know me personally, I was someone who would hear about vision boards and manifesting and affirmations and just roll my eyes because I thought it was just a load of woo-woo bullshit. But I am someone who was a skeptic and slowly started to incorporate these practices into my life. And now I am fully convinced that they work because I have seen it unfold and play out in my life and seen how it has changed and impacted my life for the better. So if you are also a skeptic, just know you're listening from someone who once was in your shoes. And if you want a little bit of like science and data and more hard facts behind why all of this stuff works, you can go back and listen to my prior episode I released in, I think it was April of 2024, about the power of your subconscious mind. Because really what we're going to talk about is programming your subconscious mind to believe these things and allow them to ultimately become truth. And in that episode, I talk all about the real science-backed data on how training your brain and your subconscious mind can actually change your real world and your reality. It's not just a bunch of feel-good woo-woo stuff. It's like, this is real hard science. So if you want some of that, go back and listen to that episode. So today, let's talk about what a vision board is first. If you're like, Chelsea, what the heck are we even talking about? So a vision board is quite literally a poster board or a screensaver on your phone. Kind of think of it as a collage of images, words, quotes, things that kind of visualize what you want to achieve, what your goals are, how you want to feel, ultimately like what you want your life to look like on a poster board collage. It's kind of like a Pinterest board in real life. And the way that this really works is it's something that you are forced to look at every single day. And not only does that like make you look at it and keep it as a constant reminder for you to be like, oh yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want my life to look like. Or that's the dream car I want, or that's the vacation I want to go on. Like when you're looking at a picture every day, it's a constant reminder for you to like continue to work towards those things. But it also programs your subconscious mind. When you are seeing something every day, it becomes normal to your brain. And when it becomes normal to your brain will develop less resistance to the thing that it's seeing because it's just like, oh, okay, that's normal. Like, totally. I see that every day. That's a part of my everyday life. And it makes those things easier, more attainable, more achievable, and they are going to come true in a way that like there's going to be less resistance. It's just like proven scientifically that when your brain sees this thing over and over again, it makes it more of a likelihood that it will become reality, because in your brain, it already is a reality because it's seeing it every day and your brain's like, oh, that's already a part of my everyday life. So that's kind of like how a vision board works, what it is. So let's talk about how to do your vision board. Now, before we get into doing our vision board for this year, I think it's really important to take a little bit of time to reflect on your year past. So if you're doing this in January, take some time to think about last year and how it went. Reflect on if you did a word of the year or if you did a vision board, reflect on like what came true. What are the things you accomplished? What are the things that you didn't accomplish that you wanted to accomplish? Like, how did the year make you feel? Just try to take a little bit of time to reflect, because you can't move forward without considering what you've been through. And trust me, I am someone who is guilty of this. I have had some years where I was like, wow, that was a horrible year. I want to completely forget about that and move on. And I just set all these goals and did set all these intentions and created a word of the year and a vision board for the next year. And I didn't take time to like reflect on what had transpired the year before. And it came back to bite me because I like emotionally crashed. I didn't deal with the bad years that I had, and it like all caught up to me. So it's really important that you take some time to reflect on what went well, what made you feel good, what didn't make you feel good, what you did accomplish, didn't accomplish. Make sure you're taking time to do that. Once you have done that, once you have picked your word of the year, your phrase of the year, your vibe of the year for 2025, now we're ready to do our vision board. So I want you to then write down some things you want to accomplish, write down your goals, whether they are tangible, like numbers-based goals or not. Like your goals can be, I want to feel this way, or I want to be better at this. You don't have to say, I want to do 200 workouts. You can say, I want to work out more, or whatever you feel good, like whatever types of goals work for you, whatever types of goals make you feel good. I want you to write down what it is that you want for your goals, for your dreams. How do you want to feel when you look back and you're reflecting on 2025? What do you want your life to look like? What things do you want to have accomplished, and how do you want to feel? Once you do that, you can kind of section those into different areas. And if it works easier for you to section into areas first and then write goals within those sections, you can do that too. But kind of come up with some categories, come up with like health and fitness, come up with relationships, work, hobbies, travel, anything like that. You can kind of categorize if that makes it easier for you. But when I make my vision board, that's how I like to put up the photos and stuff. I like to put them in different sections, to me, I feel like it makes it flow a little bit better. So again, take from this what you want, apply any of this or none of it. Just this is how I kind of like to do it. So I pick my word of the year, I write down my goals, and then I kind of make up sections from those goals that I wrote down. And then what you're going to want to do is gather actual images and print them out. So I prefer to go to Pinterest, and I actually create a Pinterest board and I'll label it 2025. And I just start throwing pictures and quotes and stuff like that in my Pinterest. And I just go willy-nilly for like a week or two, just adding things that look good and like searching for photos that are going to represent the goals and the categories that I had written down. So I make a big Pinterest board. And like I said, don't be afraid to add quotes and words and stuff too. It doesn't have to just be pictures. Now, when you're picking photos, I encourage you to pick photos that are very specific. Like if one of your goals is to see more sunsets, for example, that was one of my goals for 2024. I wanted to see more sunsets and more sunrises. So instead of picking like any old random sunset and sunrise photos, I picked ones that look like sunsets and sunrises I want to actually see. So I picked some on the beach. I picked some in a big city because I live in a big city. I wanted to go to big cities. So I picked ones that were like very, very specific. You can also pick photos based on point of view. So this is going to further help these images feel more real. For example, let's say you want a new car. Instead of taking a photo of the outside of that car, get a photo of someone who took a photo sitting in the driver's seat, like of the steering wheel and the dashboard, because that is actually what you're going to see when you get that new car. Or if you want to be at the gym more, take a photo from Pinterest of like a point of view photo of someone that took a photo looking down at their shoes with the weights on the ground, because that's what you'll actually see if you go to the gym more, right? So you don't have to do that, but that's a really good way to like get even more specific and put up photos on your vision board that are actually going to look realistic when you are living out these things that you have set out to accomplish for your life. So once you have all of your photos gathered in your Pinterest board and all your quotes there, I then like to go ahead and like screenshot or copy and save those and print them out. I actually printed all of mine out at CVS on like regular photo paper. I don't have a color printer, and that was just the easiest way for me to do it, was to send them to CVS or Walmart or whatever. And I picked different sizes. Like you can do like the 4x6, or you can do bigger 6x10, or whatever the dimensions are, as big or as small as you want. Go ahead and print out the photos. And then you're going to want to get either a poster board or something that you can, like we're going middle school art class here, like cutting out pictures, getting glue, getting stickers, whatever, and gluing them all to an actual poster board. And this is the act of like doing this tangibly with your hands is going to create even further connection with your brain on what you're doing. But by having a physical, tangible vision board, you're going to hang it up somewhere that is very high traffic for you, somewhere that you know you are going to see it and look at it every single day. So mine, I have hanging up. I wanted mine big, like art. So I took 2 poster boards and taped them together. And I have this blank wall behind me, and I hung it up on my wall big, so I have to see it. It's in the room where I sit down and do my makeup and get dressed every day. So I look at it every single day and it's huge. Like it's literally art on my wall. And that is what you want for your vision board. It's got to be somewhere where you're going to see it all the time, because if you don't see it all the time, it's not going to work because you're not going to be constantly reminded of it. It's got to be somewhere where you can see it. Now, if you're not someone who likes something tangible like that, you can have a digital vision board. You can make it the background of your phone. You can put it as the background of your computer or laptop. Those are great options as well. In fact, I have my regular vision board on my wall, and then I made a smaller version with just a few photos on my phone background. So I have both for mine, but I prefer the tangible like vision board on my wall. I feel like I look at that more and pay attention to that more, and it's just bigger. It's in my face too. So then you're just going to go to town, gluing and cutting away. You can put little stickers, put little quotes or whatever. Like I said, I liked to organize my vision board in sections. So I put like all of my health and fitness on one section. I put travel on one section. I put all my business stuff on one section. And it just kind of like makes things look cohesive and organized. And something new I'm going to do for my 2025 vision board that I haven't done before is I pick very specific photos. So I know what the photo means. Like I pick a photo and I pick a girl in an outfit that I want to wear with similar hair color as mine, similar body type. Like I'm intentionally picking photos that look very realistic to me. So when I see that photo, I'm like, I know exactly why I picked that photo and what I wanted when I picked that photo. But to take it a step further, what I'm going to do this year is I'm either going to take a Sharpie and write on the photo, or take like a little Post-it note or something and write exactly what it is I want from that photo. Like, why did I pick that photo, and put it in words too. So it's going to be a vision board with photos and like captions for the photos, I guess. Like I have quotes and stuff like that on my vision board, but the pictures aren't labeled. So I'm going to label every single photo with, like, for example, let me look at my 2025 Pinterest board here. Okay, so I have a photo of like lemon water. I don't know if you can see that, because I want to drink more water this year. I feel like I've been slacking on drinking water, and that's one of the things I want to do this year. So instead of just having the photo of lemon water, I know what that means when I look at it, but to add another level to that, I'm going to write on this photo, I'm drinking more water, or I will drink more water, or something like that. Drink more water. Like, get even more specific. And if you're not like, if you're someone who's more visual and not as motivated by words, maybe that won't work for you. But I feel like having that is just like an added layer and an added reminder of, okay, I need to drink more water, because I see the photo and I see the caption on the photo of me telling myself I need to drink more water. So that's something new I'm excited to try on my vision board this year. Okay, so that's kind of like how to go about making your vision board. I encourage you to make it fun, make a night of it, like stay in, make yourself a dinner, order pizza, or you can do a coffee, like do it in the morning, make yourself a beautiful breakfast with coffee, and make like an activity out of it. Put aside time. Don't just throw it together. Like, be very intentional about this. Make it fun. You can even grab a friend and do it with your friend. It would be like a super fun girls' night or girls' day to do your vision boards together. Just like make sure you take the time to do it and make it special and make it fun. So now that you know how to do the vision board, what it is, let me just give you some examples in case you're kind of like stuck on what to put on your vision board. So I'll tell you what some of the things I had on my 2024 vision board and what came true. I'll also tell you a few examples of stuff I put on there that didn't come true also, because I like to be transparent. So let's see. I told you about the sunsets. I put some photos of sunsets on my vision board. And again, very intentionally put a photo of a sunset with like a big city on the beach, and very specific, like I want to see sunsets in these different places. And I'm very happy to report, like I made it a thing to see more sunsets and more sunrises. And whether or not I saw more, I don't know, but I absolutely paid attention to them more. And just like being more mindful of those moments, seeing it on my vision board every day made me be more mindful of like, oh, I really want to pay attention to like how beautiful this sunrise is or this sunset is. I put some photos of the beach on my vision board. I did go to the beach a few times. I put photos of me starting a podcast on my vision board, and happy to report I did. Obviously, you're listening to that. But to be more specific, I put like a photo of a podcast microphone stand. So like, again, that point of view type of photo. What I'm seeing when I'm recording a podcast is my microphone sitting on a stand. I put a photo of like a point of view of me sitting at my laptop editing with a podcast mic and like a coffee sitting there next to the computer. So it was like a photo taken from somebody who was sitting and like editing a podcast. So let's see, what else did I put up there? I put up a little quote that said, podcasting is the art of turning passion into a powerful voice. So that was just like a nice little reminder, like, hey, you're doing this podcast because you have something to share with people. I put up on my vision board a couple photos of YouTube. So I put like the YouTube logo, and I also put a photo of, again, a laptop with someone editing a YouTube video. And I actually started a YouTube channel this year. I can't say I did anything like super wild and successful with it, but I did start one. And a big part of that was like me having to walk into this room every single day and seeing that on there. I was like, gosh, I haven't started my YouTube channel. I really need to do that. I really need to start my YouTube channel. I would see it every single day, and it just reminded me like, hey, you still haven't done that yet. Like, let's go ahead and knock that off the list. So happy to report that came true. I put a couple photos of cityscapes on my vision board. One was the Eiffel Tower. I didn't go to Paris, which that's totally okay. I put a cityscape on there, which wasn't necessarily very specific, but I put it with the intention of like, I want to go to these certain cities. And guess what? I did. I went to Chicago and Nashville, and I saw the cityscape, and like, I put that on my vision board because I knew I wanted to make the trips. Those were both business trips. I knew I wanted to make the trips for my business, and I did. And like having that there every day gave me the motivation and the reminder that I can do it, and I want to do it, and I will do it. And here I am, and I did. There's lots of examples, but the last thing on my vision board that came true that I'll tell you about is getting more involved in photography. I love photography as a hobby, but I would love to kind of like step it up and take it to the next level. So I have some photos on there of girls like taking photos. I have some photos on there of like picture books, like photography books where you take your photos and actually print them out. I've got a photo of a girl standing in front of big framed photos that she took in a gallery. And the crazy thing about this is I really did not actively pursue photography much this year. I mean, I took photos while I was on vacation and stuff like that, but I really other things came up in my life and I was not focused on pursuing photography at all. But towards the end of the year, one of my friends reached out to me and she asked me if I would photograph her rehearsal dinner for her. And I was like, I have no experience in professional photography at all. And I was so scared to say yes because I was like, this is so out of my comfort zone. But this was on my vision board and I said, hell yeah. Like, if that were not on my vision board, if I did not have to look at that every single day, I probably would have said no to that. But because I had to come in here and look at that every single day, if I would have said no, I would have been like, why? Like, you're so dumb. Like, why did you say no to that? I would have felt guilty that I said no to that because it's something that I want to do and something that I want to pursue. So the fact that it was on my vision board and I was faced to look at it every day made me say yes and get out of my comfort zone and do something that I've always wanted to do, but just never had the courage to do or really had been presented with the opportunity to do it. So to me, that's the most wild thing that came true on my vision board because I had no idea I would be taking photos at someone's wedding rehearsal dinner. I'm so thankful that my friend asked me to do that. It was such a cool experience. And that's probably the coolest accomplishment on my vision board this year. Now, there's definitely a couple things on my vision board that did not come true, and that's okay too. I said I wanted to be fluent in Italian. So I have some, let's see, what did I put on here about Italian? I speak fluent Italian in a quote. I put a couple words in Italian, like farfalle, which is butterflies. I put some other words up there that are in Italian. And I did my Italian lessons for 2 months and then I flopped and just didn't keep up with it. I don't have an excuse. I just didn't do it. And that's totally okay. I might actually take those off my vision board and put them on my vision board for next year. And I want to give you the permission to do the same thing. If there's something that you wanted to do and you didn't do it, don't be afraid to add it to your list of things or add it to your vision board for next year. And if there's something that you wanted to do and you set out the year with this goal or this idea that you wanted to do this thing and then you didn't do it and you don't want to do it anymore, that's okay too. Don't feel like you have to check everything off your list that was on your list. If something doesn't feel aligned with you, if it doesn't feel good to you anymore, if it's not something you want to do anymore, you don't have to do it. Okay. One other example of something that was on my vision board that did not come true was there's a certain jewelry project. I don't want to share what it is, but a certain jewelry project that I really wanted to work on and I didn't. And Again, I don't have an excuse or reason. I just didn't. But that's another one. I think I might take it off of here and put it on my vision board for next year. So don't be afraid to do that if that's kind of a situation you're in as well. So now that we talked about my 2024 vision board, I'll just really quickly go over and show you some examples of stuff I'm going to put on my 25 vision board. So as a reminder, my word of the year is magnetic. And I want this year to be less goal oriented and less do this thing and accomplish this and chase that. I want to feel better. I want to do more things that I want to do. I want to just be happy, be authentic, and just stay in my own lane and work on being more confident, work on loving the way that I look. And this year is definitely going to be much more of a year of feeling and intuition and authenticity as opposed to chase, chase, chase. I want to attract this year by being more magnetic. So we'll categorize this in health and fitness. I showed you the lemon water because I want to drink more water this year. This could be like travel or personal, but I put a photo. I don't know if you can see this. There it is. I put a photo of kind of like the point of view of riding a little beach bike because I want to go to the beach and ride bikes this year. Not all of your goals and like things on your vision board have to be these like big, crazy, outlandish dreams and accomplishments. They can literally be as simple as I want to drink more water and I want to ride a cute bike at the beach. Don't be afraid to put stuff on there like that. Okay, this one is another really great example of a point of view. It is at the beach, of course. I love the beach. I want to go to the beach, but it's like a girl holding out her arm with her selfie camera on her phone, and in the phone screen is her and all of her friends. So it's like she's holding out her arm. I'm trying to explain it for those of you who aren't watching. Basically, it's like a screenshot of a selfie of her and all of her friends at the beach. So I want to go to the beach more. I want to hang out with my girlfriends more, maybe make some new girlfriends. That's definitely one of my things on my list for the year. Here's another great point of view photo. This would be health and fitness. It's just a photo of a countertop with a big haul of fruits and veggies. So we want to eat healthy, eat fresh foods this year. And that's a great like point of view shot because that's exactly what I will see after I get home from the grocery store and I'm preparing fresh, healthy foods. And then I've got some like quotes. I love putting quotes. A lot of these are very simple, y'all. Like a lot of these are not these big aspirational things. So I want to encourage you, like it's totally okay to make your vision board just like, I want to spend more time with my friends and I want to go to the beach and I want to drink more coffee and go to the farmer's market. Now, of course, I do have some stuff on here like this says 10,000 followers. Would love to hit that on my business page this year. This is a photo of a bunch of like shipping labels. So manifesting, sending out lots of orders for my business. I love the gym photos of girls who are like standing in the mirror taking a selfie. Again, that's like a great point of view because that's what I want to be looking at when I'm going to the gym. I want to be looking at myself in the mirror just like that. Here's a photo of a flat lay of a bunch of makeup because I do want to get more into doing my makeup this year and maybe posting a little bit about it. Oh, I love this one also as a point of view photo. It's a girl and a guy holding hands out there at a restaurant. You can see the dinner table, but it's taken from the point of view of her reaching out to hold his hand. So I definitely want to be more intentional about spending time with Brad and like doing date nights and stuff like that. So those are some of the things I'm putting on my 2025 vision board. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea and gets your brain going for what you might want to put on your vision board for this year. And let's just recap really quickly. So pick a word of the year if you haven't already. That is going to set your overall vibe and intention for the year. And all the goals and aspirations that you have for the year should be able to relate back to your word of the year. Then to make it easier for writing out your goals and how you want to feel and what you want to accomplish for the year, you can categorize them into areas like finance, work, or professional business, health and fitness, fun, travel, relationships, hobbies. There's lots of different categories you can do and write out your goals, your aspirations, how you want to feel as well in those different categories. Then go to Pinterest, create a Pinterest board, gather all those photos, make sure you're grabbing photos, quotes, words, and really try to focus on those point of view photos too. Then you're going to want to print those out, get a poster board, make a fun night of it, do a girls' night or a solo date, make your vision board and hang it up somewhere you're going to see it every single day. If you do a digital vision board, make sure you put it as your phone background or your computer background that you're going to see every single day. The reason why we do that is because it trains our subconscious brain to know this is normal and this is what my life looks like. So when that happens, there's no resistance and it just is what it is. And it's also a really great motivation for you when you're seeing something every single day. It's going to give you that extra push, that extra motivation to actually get out there and work for it and chase what it is that you want. And then something extra that you can do is adding captions or adding notes to every single photo, just describing in more detail what it is that that photo means to you and what you want to accomplish from that photo. Nothing is too little to be a goal. If your goal is to get more sleep or to be more consistent with doing your laundry, who cares what's on your vision board? You don't have to put, I want to make $1 million and drive a Lamborghini on your vision board. It does not have to be that. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can interpret it however you want to interpret it. So take all of this information and get your word of the year, get all of your photos printed, go to the craft store, get all of your cute supplies, get those vision boards made and put them up on your wall. I promise you, it is going to change your life. It is one of the coolest things, making a vision board and then looking back at it at the end of the year and being like, wow, this is so crazy how much of this stuff came true. And it's super motivational and inspiring for the next year. And it really just gives you this confidence of like, wow, I can really do the things that I want to do. Like I have the power to change my life. And I promise you, you do have the power to change your life. You just have to believe it and put in a little bit of work to do it. Make those vision boards and tag me. Post your vision boards and tag me at Beautifully Consumed on Instagram. I would love to see your vision boards. Let me know what your word of the year is. And I can't wait to see what y'all come up with. That's all for today. Have an amazing week, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.